welcome back. A local nonprofit that's all about getting people where they need to go. Fix It Forward Ministries provides free auto repairs and also donates vehicles to people in need throughout the Fargo-Moorhead community. President Matthew Carlson and Vice President Jeremy Jensen are joining us. So during break, we were talking about your number. You guys are keeping track of how many cars you've given away. Did you figure out what that number is?
Yep, 327.
Oh my goodness. That's so amazing. And what a blessing to the people that have received them, I imagine.
Yes, each one of those comes with a fantastic story, and it's very emotional to see the impact it makes.
Yeah, so. I would love, before we get into the details of Fix It Forward, if you can each just kind of give me an example of, an experience you've had. Maybe you gave a car away, something that touched you or something that stuck out in your memory.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was very early on in the ministry. There was a single mom that we were helping. It was February, super cold like it is recently. We went to pick up her van because she said the brakes weren't working. So we picked up the van. There was no brakes, no heat. We got the car fixed, and we were kind of shocked when we were fixing it of how bad the van was, just the overall condition. And we dropped the vehicle back off, and the comment she made as we were leaving was, I knew my brakes were bad, I knew my van needed to be fixed, but I had a choice. I could either fix my van or feed my kids. And that to me just set the tone, set the stage.
And unfortunately, that is a choice some parents have to make.
And we want to make sure that they don't have to.
And what a neat opportunity to be able to affect someone's life like that, but then to also have, the side of it where you're coming from a place of trying to represent, the church or God's values. Or can you tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Again, we have been blessed, and all of us have different gifts. And when we see those gifts and we're able to put them to kingdom purpose, mm-hmm. and to use those gifts in a way that honors God and can reach out to people and help is just amazing. It's invigorating. So.
Wow. And Matt, you were telling me, you do have the two sides of the business. You have the side that does the repairs, that generates revenue so that you can do things like give away cars. Can you tell me about that?
Well, it's kind of unique. We started with the nonprofit. Jeremy and I started the nonprofit in a garage in the backyard of a farm. And we started building that up, and we had made a big impact, and it was growing really well, which is relatively easy to grow when you give away all your services. But we kept growing, and then we ran into this limitation of space. And we needed to get a better shop space. We needed more lifts, and that's really expensive. And that's when we came up with the idea of we could start an auto repair shop to help people in the community, just like every other auto repair shop in town. But then we could use that same facility for our nonprofit side, and it wouldn't increase the overhead for the nonprofit. And so we went, back then we only had 2 lifts, and we could work on 2 cars at a time. Now across our 2 shops we've got 20 lifts.
Wow.
So we're able to make a much bigger impact, but with no more added overhead because the shop side is already paying for that expense.
So people can come to you if they just need regular repairs and know that the money that they're spending is still going to something amazing.
The more we grow the shop, the more we can grow the nonprofit.
Wow, that's fantastic. I'll tell you from my personal experience, I went to church yesterday, and the sermon was kind of about, we get caught up a lot in what we're doing here on earth and what we're doing in our day-to-day and what we're doing in our jobs, and sometimes people forget that we really should be preparing for the next step, or we should be helping people to move closer to that. And this to me is such a great representation of that, because what you're doing every single day is affecting people's lives. And I would love to hear, Matt, we talked, Jeremy, about your personal experience. What's something that you've experienced that's maybe touched you?
Well, we gave away a minivan to a lady, and she had some young kids, and we found out that transportation, I've never had problems with transportation myself, and I didn't realize just how big of a problem this could be. And she said the way she had kids in an elementary school, and she had kids in a daycare and the Head Start program, and she couldn't get her kids to Head Start and elementary school at the same time because of the way the buses worked. So she could get one kid on the bus, but by that time she wasn't able to take the bus with the other kid to get to Head Start, so she wasn't even able to participate in that program. And by giving her a car, her kids were able to get to school, and she was able to avoid riding the buses where she had an abusive ex who also rode the bus.
Oh, wow.
And so then every time you get on the bus, then you have to think about, hey, what is he going to be there? And if he is, what do we do? Where do we go? Mm-hmm. That kind of stress was just gone as soon as she got her own vehicle.
So if somebody is watching this today and they're in need, they need some help, they need a vehicle, they need repairs on theirs, what's a way that they can get in touch with you about that?
So we work with over 40 different social service organizations in the FM area. And if they have a case manager with one of those organizations, they can talk to their case manager about it, and their case manager will make a referral to us. And we do that so that we can help those organizations further and benefit their clients, as well as keep our overhead low. But then those organizations can refer to us. We'll look at those referrals and we'll either fix their car or get them a donated car if the need is right.
That is fantastic. So where are you located? How can people find you?
So we've got one location. Our original location is in Moorhead, right by East 10. And our other location is on 52nd Avenue in South Fargo.
That is exciting, and online as well, so people can find you there.
Absolutely. FixItForwardMinistry.com and FixItForwardAutoCare.com.
That is fantastic. Jeremy, Matt, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your story. Such an amazing thing that you guys are doing. So kudos to you guys, and hopefully we'll hear from you a little bit more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, coming on today's show, an ice fishing guide service that could help you get a big catch out of the lake this winter. We'll have that next.